We are live. I think we're live. Are we live? Who is live? Am I live? Are you live? Which one of us is live? Well, anyway, guys, we are talking to Fine Shite. We're talking to Emo Fine Shite. Are we gonna crack? Are we gonna smash? What the hell's going on? When you're trying to riz up Emo Fine Shite and you get blinded by the reflection on her rings because of the light of horniness that emanates from your dick. I don't know, man. I'm just reaching out to the youth and I'm trying to incorporate, Gen Z language, alright? More brain dance. Hell yeah, bro. Alright, so... Notification, baby. Is that my mom? No, it's me. It's a notification I get on my phone telling me that I'm live. Which is interesting because I actually know that I'm live because I am me. I have 2 different YouTube accounts. So the first one is the one you're watching this video on, Cat Bat Sean. The other is Candy Crystal Premium. I don't know why I called it premium. There's very little that's premium about it. I should call it Candy Crystal Dump. Because it's just me dumping content like a bored FedEx worker is fucking dumping the shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so here we are. Here we are, mate. Lovely job, mate. You're leaving perception range. Alright. Oh, what? Is that the audio there? Where's the phone, bro? Every action you take is a vote towards a person that you want to become. When I started streaming, it truly felt like I was doing something stupid and pointless. And it kind of still feels that way, but I also see it as a skill that I'm developing in a place with very low stakes. Like, I try not to say racial slurs, I try not to be an a-hole or whatever, but in general, like, I have had moments where I'm just kind of ranting and saying shit that I'm like, you know what, it's probably better that I take this one down. And even if I didn't take it down, it's like, I don't really care because no one's listening. But it's just good to establish, profession. So the thing about this is like, well, if at some point people do start to listen, I hope they get at least some sort of value out of it. Like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Yeah, so I had a bit of a chat with the AI chat bot, and I have a little bit of a plan. And I'll tell you the plan, if you're curious. I might move my business operations towards the Central Coast. Now, that's not saying I'm definitely going to move there tomorrow or whatever, but what I am saying is, okay, so this guy, his name is Evan. Evan is a very nice guy, and he is involved with booking a room, a comedy show in Woy Woy. Now, I've done a lot of horrible, boring open mics here in Sydney, Australia. All right? Now, in general, if you're a positive person and you're optimistic, you can always, justify doing a shitty open mic by being like, okay, well, I got a little bit better. Even if I'm doing 3 minutes in front of a dead audience, at least I got a little bit of a workout. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's always good to go, okay, but how can things get better? And one of the ways in which I believe things can get better is if I focus more on the gigs that are going to feed my career more. Beautiful kicks, bro. Anyway, so Evan's gig is in Woy Woy, and that gig is the only open mic. Well, it's not a full-on open mic. It's more of like a booked room where you message him and he'll basically put anyone on, as far as I can tell. I can't 100% confirm this, but from what I gathered, it's a fairly open structure where anyone can basically, right? As far as I'm concerned. So, because it's in Woy Woy, it's far from Sydney, not a lot of comics are getting up, which means I get more stage time. Instead of 3 minutes, I have 10 or even more if I want to get up and I'm doing well. 10 minutes of stage time is really good. I develop more. I go through more material, and I have a decent fucking footage that I can use to share or whatever. And on top of that, I also have I get a drink voucher, which is a very nice gesture to be like, yeah, we value you, and he said it's the least we could do. That's what Evan said, because yeah, well, I don't believe it's the least, but it's a nice thing to do. So thank you to Evan, and that actually inspired me to go, well, what if I lean into that and start my own gigs in the central coast of Sydney? The central coast of New South Wales is not technically Sydney. I don't think it is. But anyway, it's very close to Sydney. It's not that far, but it is far enough that it's almost a bit of a different culture, and I think that's a very good thing right now. I need to call Mr. Hands. That sounds like a metaphor for beating off, doesn't it? Okay, so this is my current hypothesis. If I establish multiple comedy shows in the Central Coast, whether it's Woy Woy or Gosford or whatever, then I will have, at the very least, at the very minimum, more stage time and less friction in my comedy career. That's the minimum. Because, of course, it'll be less comedians, which means I can control the vibe better, and I'll get more stage time, and both of those will help me go, oh, I'm getting better at a faster rate now, which is accelerated growth, which is really smart. And the second thing to keep in mind is I have more control. If I'm the one booking the rooms, I don't have to deal with people who are rude just because, hey, it's the scene. No, I can just go, hey, man, I apologize, but you're not welcome in my shows. That's if they ask, which for the most part, they probably won't. Because people who are assholes, they tend to be lazy people, I've noticed. Like, people who are, like, manipulative and abusive, they tend to stay in their little bubble in Sydney because they're scared to venture out and meet new people. They actually don't like it. So anyway, if things go better, like if I'm being a little bit more optimistic, then I might actually start getting paid to book gigs and venues, and then it's like, oh, that's really good. It's really fucking good. So every action you take is a vote towards the person you want to become. And if you want to become successful in the world of comedy, in my opinion, you need to pivot. You cannot be part of the red ocean. I mean, you can if you want to. Like, honestly, if I just continue doing open mics for the next fucking 10 years, eventually I'll be really fucking good. I'll definitely be better than where I am right now. And, that's cool and all, but I actually want to be better than the better. So I want to better my trajectory, not just better my progress. Wait, maybe I'm being a little... It doesn't matter. I want to get better faster, is the point, yeah? And so, listen, I already believe I'm ahead of the game, like, by a pretty big margin, purely because I'm a nice person and I get up more frequently than the vast majority of open micers. And the majority of open micers, they're part of a club of people who are very rare. Most people who want to do comedy do it like 3 or 4 times and give up. So I'm the best of the best at this very niche thing. I am the best. I'm not, like, one of the best. I truly believe that I am the best open micer right now in Australia. I'm the fucking best, and the reason I believe that is because I've seen many open micers in many different states, and Sydney has the best open mic scene. So mathematically speaking, if I'm the best in Sydney, I'm the best in Australia. And the data backs me up. There's more gigs in Sydney, so the people who get up in Sydney frequently, they just get better, and naturally the scene progresses quicker, and the culture is different. Okay? So if this sounds arrogant to you, I really don't give a fuck. I'm not saying I'm the best comedian in Australia, but I could be. With enough effort and practice, I could also become the best comedian in Australia. And that's actually easier than you might think, because the culture here is shit. Culture is shit, guys. Culture sucks. They don't like it when you get good. They don't like it when you're ambitious. They want you to be the low-key, chilled-out fucking Aussie Blake who tells the same fucking jokes for 10 years straight. When I saw Gary Eck perform stand-up comedy at World Bar in 2014, he blew my fucking mind. He was really, really fucking good. It is undeniable, okay? When I saw Gary Eck in 2014 at World Bar, it was an event organized by Laugh Mob. Not a huge fan of Laugh Mob in general. Reuven, for the most part, is the main issue. He's a toxic, cancerous cunt, and a bully and an asshole. But that's besides. You can be two things at once. You can be a fucking asshole and cunt, and also do nice things. So I hate the part of him that is a cunty, cancerous cunt. But at the same time, I'll be fair and say also Reuven has done nice things for me. For example, he has invited me to watch his gigs for free at World Bar. Alright, and that's pretty cool, and because of him, I got to watch Gary Eck, who is very good at comedy. I watched him do a 45-minute, not 45, maybe a little bit less. I saw him do a headline spot at World Bar, and it was incredibly good. Alright? However, in the year 2025, I saw him do another headline spot in Gladesville. And he did the exact same shit. A world-class level comedian, a headliner, certified headliner, Gary Eck, was too fucking lazy to write new material in an 11-year span. What the fuck? Isn't that fucking pathetic? And you know what his biggest accomplishment was? He wrote a children's book, which he wasn't even selling on the night. He just had a copy of the children's book and was like, you guys should go out and buy it. I'm like, you fucking serious? You did well. The audience liked you. Bring fucking 10 copies and sell them. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not shitting on Gary Eck. Well, I am a little bit, because, yeah, it's really fucking bad for you to coast so fucking hard off of pretty good material, but, like, come on, man. The only update is that he said, yeah, my son is now blah, blah, blah years old. One of the jokes was involving how his son is a certain age, and the only thing he updated about the joke was that he changed his son's age. That's it. Everything else was exactly the same. Yeah, man. So that's the culture we have. It's like, that's kind of, and he's one of the best. He's considered one of the best comedians in Australia. And that's who I'm competing with? Like, come on, dog. And we have other people like Friendly Jordies who, look, he comes up with new material all the time, and he is, he's always putting out content and stuff, and I get that, but at the same time, it's like, Jordan Shanks' thing is he's kind of a douchebag, he's a very rude person, but also he doesn't do live stand-up outside of his tours, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, because it is possible that he's getting, like, paid corporate gigs, Or maybe he's doing some spots in the fucking venue that I'm not aware of. But let me tell you, man, I've been to comedy in many different forms, and I've never seen him do any pop-in spot ever. Never. Never, never, never. I've seen Neil Hadkar do some live stuff. Neil Hadkar opened for Andrew Schultz, for example. Jordan Shanks never has done any of that, alright? So, in my opinion, when you're the kind of person who's like, okay, well, you do online content every day, so you do have, like, you know, speaking skills and stuff, but you don't actually practice live jokes for an audience, then your jokes are just untested. And, yeah, so, like, the more I get better at stand-up, the more I'm like, you know what, I actually wish that other people were much better than me. To be frank, I really wish I had, like, people who I'm like, man, this guy fucking intimidates me. Because that'll inspire me to get better, but the truth is I don't. Aaron Chen is solid, okay? Sam Campbell, he's okay. I like some of his stuff. But, like, I wish there were people who, like, I saw them and I went, holy shit, this guy's fucking insanely good. I wish I had that, man. And also, let's just face facts, okay? Sam Campbell and Aaron Chen are lucky people. They lucked out by doing comedy very early and just having the type of persona that fits what people consider to be good comedy. Okay? I started out roughly the same time as them, and I was not treated the same. I was treated with judgment and exile and fucking hatred. And that's really fucking not okay. Alright? Like, I started, when the fuck did I start? My first proper comedy gig in front of, like, a big audience, I guess, was in 2013 at Class Clowns, and I met Aaron there. Aaron was there, and he was the previous year's winner in 2012, alright? You know, I tried to do good, and he tried to do good. I happened to advance to the New South Wales finals, I guess, state finals, and he won the whole thing, so it was a little discouraging, but I thought, well, fuck it, you just keep going, right? And yeah, recently I saw that Aaron Chen has a Netflix special, and I don't necessarily feel jealous or anything, but I'm also like, well, I'm not going to watch it, honestly. I don't feel the need to watch it because, look, Aaron is Aaron, okay? And to me, it's just, after a while, it gets fucking boring. Frankly, it gets fucking boring. And I want to be a dynamic, exciting performer. And every action you take is a vote towards the person you want to become. So you can go ahead and insult me or denigrate me and say, you know, hey, Aaron's on Netflix and you're not. And that is true. Aaron Chen is currently on Netflix and I am not on Netflix. That is 100% true. What is also true is that Netflix isn't exactly known for their high-quality comedy specials, are they? Dave Chappelle's recent specials have been dog shit. Nanette's special, Hannah Gadsby's special, is fucking shit. Mark Norman's specials are not too bad. But yeah, man. You know, it is what it is, bro. I don't try to complain too much. But yeah, so the Woi Woi strategy, the Central Coast strategy, you know, I hope it helps with my development. And I hope eventually, over time, I go from, you know, solid to great to undeniable. The more I focus on building my audience, building my material, building my team, the better the results will be. If I try to apply the let's just suck every promoter's dick strategy, then I will just be known as a cocksucker. Okay? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like maybe I should do something. Instead of just that. But anyway, man, yeah, I did talk to an AI today, and, look, if you have a problem with AI, I don't give a shit, alright? My thing is like, well, like, the whole water wasting thing with image generation thing is like, maybe it's getting better, you know. I try just not to generate images in general, you know. I do generate images sometimes, but I try to be like, okay, what's the issue here exactly? Well, if you fucking generate one image, is that going to be destroying the planet? Probably not. So I generate like images like, for example, uh, can you put me in a white suit? Like it's simple stuff, all right? And I know there's like some unethical like things where like some people may use AI software to like remove people's clothing or stuff, and I don't do that. In general, I think that is unethical and it's pretty gross. And I tend to stick to AI image generation tools, that are ethical and yeah, which is good. It's good for your soul and whatever. I am currently 30 years old. It's a good thing that I wasn't like you know, maybe it doesn't matter. I just feel like okay, this is what I will say. I feel like people who are in high school and they're more horny and they're more impulsive, they're far more likely to do stupid shit with AI than I am as a 30-year-old who is, more grounded and, like a general aware of myself and what I value and stuff, which is good. Yeah, man. I cannot tell you what it would feel like to be a woman who has her image like distorted by AI, and now there's like nude pictures of her, all over the internet. I can't imagine what it would be like, but I can assume that it would be like like humiliating and painful, and I wouldn't want to put anyone through that. You know what I mean? I think there's some genre now. Like I heard this term a while ago called revenge porn, where like for example a guy who used to date a girl would leak the nude pictures that she sent to him in private, and that sounds pretty disgusting. You know. But anyway, let's talk about something else, huh? Something a bit less upsetting, like the Gaza situation. Yeah, I haven't heard much about like Gaza recently because well, it just feels like the whole Iranian situation is kind of the whole Iranian. I feel like this isn't fucking opening. Doesn't matter. I feel like the Iranian situation has. Look at my beautiful woman, bro. She's amazing. Did I put my clothes on? Doesn't matter. We'll put the clothes on. All right. She is fucking gorgeous, bro. She really is. Uh-oh. There she is. Okay. Yeah, man, this game's cool. Anyway, what else was there to say? I was talking about Gaza, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say the the Gaza situation has been a little bit affected by the Iranians, and it does seem like it's like pretty much like it's very heavily favoring Israel right now. Like from what I gathered, recently the death toll in Iran has exceeded 1,000. And somehow every time Iran hits Israel, it's like an average of like fucking 5 deaths, I guess. So it's like they're not really doing much in retaliation. Now, is this about to change? I don't want to see like mass deaths, alright? Even if it's Israelis and Israel is whatever, like an evil country in general, it's like, I don't think any Israelis should get killed. I think it's okay to go, well, if Israel is in conflict and the Israelis are part of the conflict, you go, well, okay, unfortunately there will be casualties, but that doesn't mean I want to celebrate the death of any human being. I might do business in Israel one day. I might learn Hebrew and do business with Israel because, in fact, Israel is a tech hub of the world, alright? They're a hard-working nation. They got a lot of fucking... They have the most billionaires, apparently. Apparently Israel has like 40 billionaires, which is the most in any country, including America? Like, I'd have to look into that further, but maybe their thing is they have the most billionaires per capita or something? I don't know. Or maybe they do have the most billionaires, which honestly wouldn't be that surprising because in America, even if there is a bunch of billionaires in America, there's so much fucking wealth inequality. You know what I mean? There's so much fucking wealth inequality in America. Man. It's fucking outrageous. But maybe there are more billionaires in America than... I'll have to check. Okay, so I only know this because of a little bit of research in which I found out that there are apparently 40 billionaires. Hey, buddy, how many billionaires are there in Israel?
Most reports indicate that Israel has around 41 billion, though some sources might show different
How many are there in America? $800? Are they more concentrated in California?
Definitely. California has a higher concentration of billionaires than any other state. A recent list said they have about 188. New York is next, but it still has significant fewer. Does that surprise you, or did you expect that?
I very much expected that.
Is there another category or topic you're curious about?
Yeah, if all of those billionaires were to go to a party, who would pay for the dinner? I feel like the Indians would pay because Indian generosity is well known.
education is still useful. Are you thinking about specific possible habits or just that general impression?
If there was some sort of billionaire fight tournament with each person going, like in the ring with someone for 5 rounds, who would likely come out on top in America?
Mark Zuckerberg has been around for decades, so you might be able to get someone who doesn't. It's hard to say for sure, but it makes for a wild matchup. Who do you think would win?
I mean, are there any billionaires who are younger than Zuckerberg that are also known for their fitness training?
There's Ben. Now, he's younger. Good. He's established confidence well himself, starting to take his workout so in advice, he might have the athletic background to be a strong contender. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I've never heard of the guy.
Yeah, you can optimize the household for someone like Zuckerberg, but he did that huge round in life. Now he's one of the younger billionaires. Anything else on your mind about billionaires and finance?
Yeah, I have a goal actually. I want to become a billionaire by the time I'm 65.
That's quite an ambitious goal. It takes a lot of hard work, smart planning, and sometimes a bit of luck, too. What kind of industry are you thinking of pursuing?
Well, I think I want to be someone who invests in a lot of different ideas and is a bit of an education facilitator. So I teach people how to get good at stuff, and I also help out with like recruitment and facilitating interaction between VCs and startup companies.
That's a really proactive approach. Investing in diverse ideas and nurturing talent covers a lot of ground, from spotting potential to helping businesses grow. Combining that with education and connecting people sounds like you've been playing a key role in a lot of success stories. What part of that sounds most exciting to you right now?
To me, what sounds most exciting is the idea that one day I'll have a really nice pool in my house.
Your sense of success motivating you. Keep focusing on those investment ideas and connecting people, and you might be swimming sooner than you think. What kind of pool are you picturing? Something luxurious or more practical?
I would say it would be a pool that is about the same size as a standard Olympic pool.
Wow, an Olympic sized pool in your house. That's a massive goal. You'd need a huge space for that. It definitely fits with the idea of thinking big and achieving grand things. Just to double check, you're talking about the version that's 50 meters long, right?
Well, it actually would be smaller than you think because it would just be 2 lanes. But yeah, it would be 50 meters long.
Oh, gotcha. So you're thinking of a super long pool. That makes a lot more sense for a focused business goal. Do you already have a design in mind?
We'll think about that later.
Sounds good. Focusing on the investment and education side of things. Yeah, no, I'm happy to chat about it. What's the next step for your billionaire plan?
The next step is probably to start meeting people who are financially well off and who can see my ambitions with a sense of realism.
That sounds like a crucial step. Meeting experienced people who can give you real feedback and potentially mentor you makes a lot of sense. Attending industry events, joining professional groups, or even connecting through educational programs could be good places to start. Are you thinking of focusing on specific countries?
Well, my thing is, I do have a good asset, which is that I'm a very experienced podcaster, and I can entertain a lot of people by having them on my podcast and making them laugh.
That's a really powerful asset. Your podcast gives you a natural way to connect with successful people and showcase your personality. Making guests laugh builds connections and makes for a great interview. Have you thought about specifically inviting high-net-worth investors or consumers onto your show?
Eventually, I will, yeah.
For sure, when it makes sense for your show's direction. Being an experienced broadcaster and creating an entertaining atmosphere can make those interviews very appealing. It's a great way to build relationships and get those realistic insights from people. Are you planning on doing any particular prep to attract those kinds of guests?
Most likely, I'll talk to a lawyer so I could figure out, the things that they probably do not want to talk about.
Knowing what areas to avoid can make for a better experience. It sounds like you've been through all the details to make this successful. Is there anything else you want to discuss about your podcasting strategy?
Yeah, what I think would be interesting for me is if I try to avoid the Joe Rogan path of pumping out a huge amount of content, because in my opinion, it kind of dilutes it and makes it like that his own audience doesn't listen to all the episodes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Focusing on quality over quantity can really make each episode stand out. If you keep the conversations high value and insightful, the audience might be more engaged, eagerly waiting for each release rather than letting it move around. It sounds like you want to create something with a really strong reputation. Are you thinking about sticking to a specific format or just choosing guests yet?
The format would be about clippability. And eventually, I assume that once my podcast reaches a certain level of fame, people will be clipping it for me and sharing clips on my behalf, which is really good.
That's a really clever way to think about growth. Structuring your interviews so there are naturally digestible, shareable moments makes it easy for fans to spread the word. Clips can go viral and attract new listeners very effectively. Are you planning on highlighting specific themes or questions that might be good for clipping?
What I would have is a timer on a television that me and my guest look at, and it would be like a circle that's counting down from 60. And so every new moment would be a 60-second interval that is kind of like a self contained episode in a way.
That's a really visual and dynamic way to structure your content.
So we can continue the topic as long as they understand that it helps to, add a little bit of new things every time they talk to avoid rambling, for example. The format would be a mix of preparation and examination into SEO. For example, to find out the most recently searched words about fitness or health, you can easily use those buzzwords in those various 60-second segments.
Using trending search terms is a great way to make your content relevant and discoverable. Thereby researching keywords from that will strengthen both your clickability and your SEO. Integrated marketing becomes important as well. What else are you planning to include on the show?
I want to have a wardrobe department and a makeup team to make it look really professional, like a television show.
Investing in professional wardrobe wardrobe and well, definitely show apart visually, making it very polished and very productive. That can also make guests feel more comfortable and easy to train, especially with better ingredients. Are you thinking about a specific style for the wardrobe?
I would say smart casual, like a mix of Succession and Australian, clothes, like the way they wear chinos and polos.
Combining the sharp, clean style of Succession with that relaxed, quality feeling of Foundation with chinos and polos makes for a really sophisticated first look. It says professional, but also comfortable. Are you thinking about sticking to a specific color palette for the wardrobe as well?
My wardrobe would have a specific color palette. Yeah, like if the background is blue, I would be wearing something more orange.
That would be bold, complementary pairing. Using orange against a blue background would definitely pop on screen. It shows thoughtful planning in terms of production design. Are you thinking mostly about your own wardrobe or the overall color palette for everything?
Eventually, I will have a little bit of a say on everything. Yeah.
That's definitely the mark of a visionary producer. Keeping an eye on all aspects, from the set design to the wardrobe, ensures a coherent and high quality runway. Sounds like you want to create something truly distinctive. What other elements do you think would work great for you?
I think what's going to really benefit me is if I go for high growth assets and not necessarily established figures like Peter Thiel.
That's a sharp distinction. Focusing on emerging founders with high growth potential aligns with your billionaire goal. You aim to be an investor and facilitator. You'd be nurturing the next big things. Are there any particular industries or technologies you think have the most high growth potential right now?
In my opinion, because of the way the population is changing, there's going to be a lot more money going into products and services and technology to help elderly people who are living longer and they are thriving more in society.
That's a really insightful observation. The aging population is definitely a major trend, and businesses that can capitalize on it will be in great shape. What other relevant topics are you thinking? Are there any particular areas you want to explore more?
Probably brain management, like learning a second language so that your brain continues to be sharp, and nutrients and supplements.
And truly help people. Are you more interested in the technology side of brain management or the nutritional side?
Both are important to me.
Supporting brain health from both angles, mental training with technology and physical support with nutrition, is a really comprehensive approach. You could invest in companies that develop cognitive training apps or personalized nutrition plans, maybe even ones that use AI to combine the two. That kind of integrated solution could be really impactful. Are there any specific ideas you have for how those two things could work together?
Most likely, there will be several apps to help integrate both of those things.
That seems like a very realistic approach. There could be a suite of interconnected apps, one for mental training and another for tracking nutrition.
I would say
intuitive, using large tags is difficult, and only highlighting the most important data would prevent overwhelm. They should just see what they need without digging through extra screens. That focus on simplicity would make brain management much more accessible. Is there a particular feature you think that should start with?
I think in the future there's going to be a lot more flexible, cheap television screens that only do one function. For example, you wake up and you see your tasks for the day and nothing else. Like you can't watch television on that screen.
That's an interesting thought for ambient tech. Having specialized, unobtrusive screens just for key information, like the daily tasks or health data, fits well with that minimalist, focused design. They could blend seamlessly into your surroundings. Are you picturing them as part of a smart home setup or more like independent modules?
Yeah, they'd probably be part of a smart home, and they would be part of like a power saving mode where they're only on for a certain part of the day.
That's a really practical approach for energy efficiency. Having them only active when you need them, they could display your tasks when you wake up, then go dark until they're triggered again. It builds on that minimalism very well. Are you thinking of them as being completely customizable in terms of what they show?
They would have a certain level of customizability depending on who is using them. For example, some people are, Linux developers who know exactly what they want out of the software, but other people know nothing about computers, and it would be different from them.
That's a practical approach that serves everyone. You could have a simple interface for basic users and then more advanced settings so developers can tweak everything to their liking. Offering that flexibility would make the devices very appealing. Is there a particular feature you'd want to make customizable first?
Well, it would be like the widget setting on Android phones. So it just depends on what you care about most, whether it's weight loss or the weather or, your stock investment portfolio.
Making them customizable like widgets gives users complete control over what's shown. They can prioritize their investments, fitness goals, or local weather, making the device incredibly personalized. That kind of flexibility is a big part of making them genuinely useful for different people. Is there a default layout you'd want to offer for people who don't customize?
Well, I would have to do more market research to see what elderly people want the most.
That's absolutely the right way to proceed. Doing market research to understand what older people value most, whether it's tracking health stats, connecting with family, or keeping their mind sharp, will ensure you design something truly useful and not overwhelming. What kind of research methods are you thinking of? Like surveys or interviews?
I'm thinking of, setting up trial products in nursing homes maybe, so that the nursing home staff can give me, some idea of what the, oh shit, yeah, so the alarm went off and, because of that, okay, can you just tell me what the last thing you said was, because I was interrupted by the alarm?
Oh, no problem. I was just agreeing that doing market research is the right way to proceed. And I was asking what kind of research methods you were thinking of, like surveys or interviews.
I think I'll probably create prototypes that I put in nursing homes and get the staff to tell me what the best thing for them to see is.
That's an excellent plan. Getting direct feedback from the people who will be interacting with the technology daily will help you refine the features and make sure it's truly valuable. Working with nursing home staff is a smart way to build something that works for everyone. Is there a particular type of feedback you're hoping to get from them first?
Well, for example, if I put their favorite music on a playlist that they can tap to start, I'll want to know if they trust the machine or if they think this might be too invasive.
That's a great point about trust and privacy. Knowing if residents feel comfortable using it or if they worry about their data is really important. You might want to ask the staff how they think residents would react to that feature, or even try different ways of explaining how the music works. Are you thinking of starting with just music or other features as well?
Well, I just know that elderly people like music and they like talking to their family, and it just depends on what else they want. For example, maybe there would be a meal selection service where they can tap on the food that they'd prefer to eat that day, if that's like an option.
That's a thoughtful idea too. Giving residents control over meals could really improve their daily experience. It sounds like you're focusing on features that offer comfort, connection, and a sense of independence. Starting with what you know they enjoy, like music and family, is a great foundation. What other daily tasks or activities do you think would be helpful to include?
Other daily tasks would be just giving them notifications on when Pilates or aquatic training is starting, for example.
That's another great idea for keeping them active and engaged. Notifications for scheduled activities would make sure they don't miss out on things they like fitness classes or social events. It fits perfectly with that practical, minimalist design. Are you thinking of those notifications as being voice activated or just popping up on the screen?
Would it be possible to sync it with their hearing aid?
Yes, that's very possible with many modern hearing aids. They often have Bluetooth, so you could sync them with the screen to have notifications.
All units in the area. Suspicious activity reported in city center.
10-4, dispatch. We're en route.
Is there a type of hearing aid you're familiar with, or just thinking generally?
I know very little about hearing aids.
That's understandable. The main thing to know is that many of the newer ones use Bluetooth, so they can connect to smartphones, tablets, and yes, even smart screens like the ones you're describing. This lets the audio go directly to the hearing aid, which can be much clearer for the person. Would you like to know about any particular type of connectivity, or just keep it general?
These business goals of mine, even if they sound lofty and ambitious, they're also connected to my needs as well. For example, my need to buy a nice high quality car that I can drive around.
That makes total sense.
All units in the area. Order has been restored. All units instructed.
Having a fantastic car or a beautiful home. Those personal goals can be a powerful motivator for achieving your bigger business ambitions. Is there a specific type of car you've got in mind?
A specific type of what, sorry?
Oh, I was just asking if there's a specific type of car you've got in mind, since you mentioned wanting to buy a nice one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just thought you said tire instead of car. I was confused.
No worries, that makes sense. I meant car in reference to what you said about wanting to buy a
To return to patrol.
Is there a brand or type of car you were thinking of?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of BMW or Audi.
Both are great choices for something luxurious and high performance. They each have their own distinct style and feel on the road. What particularly appeals to you about BMW or Audi?
The sleek design.
They definitely both have a great design philosophy. That sleek look can make a big statement. When you picture yourself driving, what kind of feeling are you hoping to get from the car?
I feel relaxed, I feel happy, and I'm probably listening to music.
That sounds like the perfect way to enjoy your success. Having a car that makes you feel relaxed, happy, and ready to enjoy some music is a real pleasure. It's great to have that specific vision in mind. Is there anything else about that driving experience you're looking forward to?
Well, in general, I'm looking forward to no longer needing to rely on the bus system in Sydney.
Ah, that makes total sense. Trading a crowded bus for your own comfortable, high-quality car would be a huge upgrade in freedom and convenience. You'd be completely free to go wherever you want, whenever you want. That's a great motivator for your business goals. Just imagine that sense of freedom during your drive. Is there a specific place you'd love to drive to first?
Most likely, I will drive to the nearest beach.
That sounds like a perfect way to really feel that freedom.
Escaping the bus routine for a drive to the beach with your favourite music playing would be relaxing. Is there a specific beach around Sydney you have in mind?
It would just depend on where I live, but maybe Bronte or Clovelly.
Both are gorgeous spots along that coastline. Driving down to Bronte or Clovelly with the ocean breeze and your music playing would be a real treat. It's great to have that specific, pleasant pictures as part of your motivation. Do you think you'd make it a regular trip?
You know, if my business goals are met and I work the hours that I prefer, then yeah, most likely every day I'll wake up around 6 a.m. and drive to the beach and then chill by the cafe and take some notes while reading a good book.
That sounds like an ideal way to start your day and really enjoy the success you've built. Having that routine of a drive, time at the beach, and a quiet cafe for notes and reading sounds incredibly fulfilling. It's great to have that specific personal vision pushing you forward. What part of that lifestyle do you think you'd value most?
I'd also want to have a child one day, and taking my kid with me to the cafe would be really fun.
That's a lovely aspiration. Sharing those quiet moments at the cafe with your child would create wonderful memories. It really paints a picture of stability, family, and enjoying the simple things alongside your professional success. It seems like your vision includes a real balance of personal fulfillment and ambition. Is there anything else about that future lifestyle you've got in mind?
Yes, actually, I would probably want to hang out with other high-achieving parents, and we'd have like a goal-setting, session every day around 6 or 7 a.m. to discuss what we want to accomplish.
That's a really powerful idea. Surrounding yourself with other high-achieving parents for daily goal setting at 6 or 7 a.m. would provide incredible support and accountability. It would combine that drive for business success with shared parenting values. It sounds like community is very important to your future lifestyle. Are you picturing these sessions happening casually over coffee or more formally?
Yeah, most likely I would just reach out to my neighbors in the area and we'd have coffee together at a nice cafe.
That sounds like a wonderful way to build that community right there at the cafe. Connecting with neighbouring parents over morning coffee would be relaxed and make those goal-setting sessions very natural. It seems like you have a very clear picture of your perfect future unfolding. Is there anything else about that daily life you're dreaming of?
Yeah, most likely the older I get, the more likely I am to, get the right medication and supplements for my body.
That's a smart way to approach aging, to stay healthy and maintain your energy. Making sure you're getting the right medical care and supplements as you get older will help you keep enjoying that lifestyle you're dreaming of. It sounds like you're planning to be proactive about your health for the long term. Is there a particular health focus you have in mind?
No, I don't have a specific focus. I just want to make sure I continue being agile and slim and I have mobility.
That's a great goal for staying active and enjoying your life. Focusing on maintaining agility, flexibility, and overall mobility will help you accomplish that. It sounds like you're thinking about the practical actions to support that future lifestyle. Is there a specific physical activity you enjoy doing to stay fit?
I enjoy tennis and boxing and jogging and swimming.
Those are all excellent ways to maintain your agility and mobility. Playing tennis, boxing, jogging, and swimming give you a great variety of workouts. It sounds like you have some fun ways to stay physically fit to support that future lifestyle. Is there a particular sport you enjoy the most?
I have an idea for my own VR gaming experience where I'll have a baseball bat and I'll beat the shit out of robots.
That sounds like a wild idea for a VR game. Focusing on swinging a baseball bat to smash robots would be very energetic and satisfying in a virtual setting. Are you picturing them coming in waves or more like puzzles to solve?
So basically, it would be a one-person game with about 4 real robots that are built for durability, and I would be smashing them as they come at me. But in the game, there would be hundreds of robots. But it would be kind of like an illusion, if you get what I'm saying.
you'd have a few physical robots you're actually hitting, maybe to give that physical feedback. But in the virtual space, it looks like you're surrounded